What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down a slot wide receiver quiz, okay? So if you guys aren't familiar with our quiz format videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys 3 pre-snap looks from the slot wide receiver perspective, and you guys are going to be able to pause the video, think about how you would attack each look, and then you guys can go ahead and play the video where I'm going to break down what you would do against this specific coverage, okay? So I hope this helped you guys out. If you guys want to see any more quiz-style videos or any other specific content, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below, those suggestions. We always appreciate it, and it's always great to hear from you guys as well. Let's get started with this video. So first situation, we're going to be running a corner route. And what we have is we have this linebacker who's walked down. So who's playing in front of me, a little bit inside shade. And I want you guys to pretend you can't see it right now, but there is a safety directly over the top of this linebacker where I drew that circle. So if you had to run a corner route, how would you guys approach this? And let's say the outside receiver is running like a hitch route. Like you're running a corner route off of like a smash concept. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video. And now we're going to go ahead and break this thing down. So this is a common question we get asked a lot. How would I approach this? How would I attack that linebacker? I know he's in zone. How do we know it's zone? I take a peek over. I see that this corner's bailing out of there. I see maybe that there's 2 high safeties. There's a safety right over the top. Okay, it's kind of like it's not bracket coverage, but his goal is to get hands on you, reroute you to the outside, so it makes it an easier job for that safety to get a read on you, right? So my number one goal as a wide receiver is I can't be afraid of this guy. I can't try to run around this guy, especially if he's a big physical dude. I have to attack him. I know that he's probably not going to like lunge at me. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but I want to keep some kind of space with this guy, but I want to attack him. Just like you would in man coverage, you would attack the DB's leverage. You got to close the cushion with him, because if you just try to run around him, he will get hands. Now, you also have to be prepared to fight the hands. So if you guys were saying, I want to attack the DB or attack this linebacker, try to give him a quick move to the inside, push back vertical and restack, and then I could give a move at the top to break to the corner on that safety, you would be 100% correct. Now, if you said, okay, I want to avoid him, run to the outside, and then get right to that depth of the corner and kind of avoid the safety, that would be incorrect, right? Or if you said that I want to go and take the inside release to square up the safety, I don't necessarily like that, but sometimes that might be the case. But that's what we have to do. So if you said anything close to attacking him and then working to restack to square up the safety, you would be correct, like I said. So in this situation, he ends up running a fade route, like a slot fade, but he still does exactly what we need to do with that linebacker. He attacks him, right? That linebacker's sitting flat-footed. We're closing space with him. I'm able to get those hands off, and you see how he just lets him go, because his responsibility is the flats, and then you'll see that safety starting to come over the top right here where he's stacked over the top of this linebacker underneath, right? So that's the thing that we have to focus on right there, fellas, is attacking that linebacker and making him uncomfortable. If I can make him uncomfortable and I can step on his toes and close the space, it's going to make it easier for me to get off of that, and I just got to make sure that I am tight with that restack when I have to run the corner. That safety, when there's 2 high safeties, he's essentially an off-man coverage with you. So if I could attack him like it's off-man coverage and just not get completely rerouted and get the timing screwed up with this linebacker, I'm in business for that corner route, okay? So that's how you guys would work this. I'm going to play this thing full speed again just so you see how Kupp attacks this guy and how he's able to get the hands off and how that linebacker sits to the underneath. But that's how you guys would approach that specific situation, okay? So now, next clip we're going to get into here is a situation where we have a man coverage look and he's in head-up press. But before we get into this out of the slot wide receiver, I want to talk to you guys about a great opportunity we are having this offseason. We are traveling out to 8 different cities, fellas, for 2-day-long quarterback, wide receiver, and DB training camp. So we're going to be coming out to Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those 8 cities and you would like to come out and get some great work in with myself and with my staff of former D1 and NFL level coaches and players, check out that very first link in the description below, fellas. We'd love to have you out. We're limiting to every single camp. We are limiting our spots to only 10 to 12 guys per position group. Reason why we're doing that is because we're not trying to make it like one of those big camps that you see that's all a scam where it's like, let's get 50 guys out there and just run them through drills. We're actually going to take the time to coach you. This camp is to get you better. This camp is not anything more, anything less. We are there to help you get better so your skills improve, so you are better set up to get a scholarship and play at the next level. That's plain and simple what it is. And you cannot do that if you have 50 kids out there and you're only there for an hour. You can't do that. So we're there for 2 whole days, 4 hours each day, and we're actually going to coach you guys. So if you guys want some more information on that, you're local to one of these 8 cities, or would like to travel out to get some work in with us, we would 100% appreciate it and love to have you out. So check out that very first link in the description, fellas. Like I said, would love to have you out to one of our off-season camps. Let's get back with this video. So now, first things first here. So let's say, we have a head-up press DB, and we have to run a dig route, okay? So I got to run a dig route. So think about it. You guys go ahead and pause the video. How would you work this route? And now I'm going to break this thing down, okay? So now I got a head up guy, okay? So now there's a couple different things that I could do here. If, let's say, so number one, if you guys said, okay, I want to just go to the inside right now, you'd be wrong, right? Reason being is if you just go to the inside right now, this guy's going to get hands, get right into your hip, and reroute you off of this thing. Now, this is man coverage, right? And this is one-on-one, so I get it. I understand that, but spacing is important. Spacing is important when it's 11 on 11. When you get three other receivers out there running routes, spacing is important on the play because it sets up, and if you don't have good spacing, one defender could end up covering two defenders, and that makes it extremely hard on that quarterback. So I got to make sure if I'm running this dig, I'm staying on this line. I'm not crossing the hash. I'm not running super wide. So I could have a kind of like a two-way go here, right? I could go to the inside or I could go to the outside. Either release could work when you're running a dig route. So if you guys said that, like I could be inside, I could be outside, maybe weren't sure on which one you could use, it could be either one. Now, it kind of depends on what you want to do at the top of the route that would do that. But how you guys can choose which way to go, if you said close the space with this DB and try to step on his toes and make him uncomfortable and like kind of attack his leverage, you'd be 100% right. Because if we attack his leverage, he's going to be forced to make a decision. So he could either go to the outside, keep his leverage, or like maybe like widen out to the outside, I should say, which probably means he has safety help. And you can predict that based on your pre-snap read. Because if I come up to the line and I see that, and I see that there's maybe one safety, two safety, it looks like he's in man coverage with his eyes on me in a squatted stance, I can kind of determine that, okay, he has one high safety, he has safety help, I'm out of the slot, he's probably expecting an outside breaking route like a corner or an out route or whatever it is, so he's probably going to try to force me to his help, force me to the inside, let me take the inside release, even if I'm running an outside release route. So that's what we can determine, but when we attack his leverage, he's going to show his hand, right? Or maybe he keeps his inside shade, maybe he turns to the inside, I don't see any safety help, or sometimes with one safety help, they'll play inside shade, unlikely out of the slot, and again, we see the one high safety or no safety, and he keeps his leverage to the inside, okay, I could just burst up to the outside, I can still run the dig, but the main thing is we got to close the space and then make sure we're tight to the restack angle. So let's watch this thing full speed. So he closes the space, DB keeps his leverage outside, and we're able to break on this dig route. And yes, we're in traffic, but that's still a good situation for that quarterback. We have a step or two on this guy. If that quarterback just puts it on me, that's a catch. That's an easy catch, right? So this is a perfect example of that, but I want you to see how tight he stays. He does not round this thing off. That's how you guys get the most out of one-on-ones. You make it realistic. We close the space. We see that he's bailing. We see he's in this pedal, going to the outside shade. That's fine. Take the inside release, be tight to the restack angle. You give him a little lean at the top of the break. If you're able to restack, you give him a move, but don't just take the release inside. Don't just go to the inside right now. We have to close the space. We have to make him uncomfortable and make the DB show his hand. A lot of the time, releases are about reacting, and wherever that DB goes, that's where we have to react opposite of. He goes outside, okay, I'm going to react inside. He goes inside, I'm going to react outside. Do not force the release, because if you force the release, you will get rerouted and knocked off of this play and screw up the spacing on this play. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job closing space, seeing that he's outside shade, and then taking that inside release route. Great job running that dig route against that man coverage head-up concept. Okay, so now let's talk about this, right? So this is going to be a slant route. This is a slant route, okay? So now we're going to be running a slant route out of the slot. You have a safety over the top, kind of like what we were just talking about, and an outside shade linebacker. But you have to run a slant route right into this specific zone right here. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. How would you guys think about this? Think about how you would run it. So go ahead and pause it. And now we're going to break this thing down, okay? So now, if you have this situation, outside shade guy, what do you think he's trying to do now that he's outside shade? Trying to force you here, right? So that's number one. That's what we have to identify. So if you said just push up vertical and then break this thing off on the slant, you'd be incorrect. Because if we just push up vertical, he's going to want to get hands on me. Right? Like his goal is to reroute and his goal is to force me inside, right? So if we just run up, that's exactly what he wants me to do. He's going to get hands right on my hip, going to reroute me, screw up the timing at the top of the break, and I'm not going to have anything with my quarterback, right? I'm not going to have any timing with my quarterback, I should say, or the spacing might be screwed up. So what I want to do is I want to attack him. I want to attack him where he doesn't want me to go. He doesn't want me to get this free outside release. He's going to do whatever he can to try to force me inside because he doesn't want to give up like a corner route. He doesn't want to give up an out route, especially in this situation. Maybe this guy runs like an under route, and maybe he's running a corner. He wants to force me to the inside to make it easy on this safety to make a play for me, right? So what we got is if I'm running a slant route, I want to attack him to the outside. I want to attack his leverage. That's what you said. If you said attack his leverage, try to widen him or try to get him to sit to the outside, then give him a move and run the slant, you would be correct. So let's watch it. This ball actually goes to the outside receiver, but let's focus on the slot receiver right here. He does a great job of attacking him, giving him that move, and you see it opens up space. That guy doesn't get hands. He's not able to reroute route, and we got a few yards from every single defender of separation. So that's exactly how you would want to work that situation if you had to run a slant route versus that outside shade look. Don't just take it right now. Unless it's like a one-step slant. That's a different scenario. You don't necessarily have to worry about this guy. But if it's like a three-step slant timing, again, got like kind of a goal line fade look right here, maybe longer developing play, we could attack him, get him to work off of that leverage, and then go. If it's a quicker developing concept, maybe I just angle my stem at him. Maybe I just try to get him on his heels, try to get him to backpedal, trying to force me inside, and then take the inside. But the more you could widen this defender, the more space it opens up to the inside from that safety as well, especially if you were running a route like maybe a post route. You attack him off the line, we widen him maybe just a tad, and then I break up and break the post in front of this guy, but at least I have a window for my quarterback to throw it to, okay? Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job attacking his leverage, working that linebacker off the platform. Obviously, ball doesn't go to him, but that's how you would want to get separation out of the slot. All right, guys, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Always appreciate the feedback, and it's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you're local to one of those 8 cities that we mentioned, Houston, Phoenix, Newark, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Los Angeles, we would love to have you out to one of our off-season camps. So check out that very first link in the description below. Only 10 to 12 guys per position group, fellas. So like I said, we're keeping things small. So camps are almost sold out. Our Newark, New Jersey camp is almost completely sold out. Phoenix and Houston, because they're coming up, they're almost completely sold out as well. So I'm assuming the rest will fill up fairly quickly. So hope we get you guys out there. We really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time.